Hi friends, welcome to the next episode of App Guide. In this episode, we are going to solve some important problems on average. As always, I am suggesting you to watch the videos on each topic in sequence for better understanding. So, we will go straight away to our questions. 56th question is, a batsman is out of 52 runs, which raises his average from 36 to 37. How many runs would he have to score in that innings in which he scored 52 to raise his average to 39? So in this question they are telling that a batsman had scored 52 runs in the last innings. Okay. So the runs scored by the batsman in the last innings is 52 runs. Okay. Because of which his average had increased from 36 to 37. So in the second last innings his average was 36. But since he scored 52 runs in the last innings, his average had increased by 1. Okay. See, if he had scored 36 runs itself in the last innings, then his average would have been 36. But he had scored 52 runs, which means he had scored some 16 runs extra, because of which the average had increased by 1. Okay. So, this 52 can be written as 36 plus 16. Okay. So, if the increase in the average is 1, it means there is an increase in the runs by 16. Okay. So we need to find out the number of runs which he should make in the last innings so as to increase his average from 36 to 39. Okay. So they are telling that in the second case the average is increasing by 3. Okay. So if the average is 36 itself, which means he would have scored 36 runs. Okay. But here the average is increasing by 3, which means he had scored some extra runs. If we find out this extra runs, we can find out the runs which he had scored in the last innings so as to raise his average from 36 to 39. Okay. See, here if the increase in the average is 1, it means there is an increase in 16 runs. Okay. So what will be the increase in the runs if the increase in the average is 3? Okay. If 1 can be written as 16, what will be the value of this 3? That will be a higher value than this 16, which means this both are directly proportional. I have already said that if there is direct proportionality, we can find out this value by cross multiplying. Okay. So let us consider this as some x. Okay. So 1 into x is equal to 3 into 16. Okay. So from this x value will be equal to 48, which means this increase in the value is 48, which means if he scored 36 plus 48 runs in the last innings, his average will increase by 3. Okay. So this is equal to 84 runs. Okay. So if he had scored 84 runs in the last innings, we can say that his average will rise from 36 to 39. So this is the answer. The next question is, a batsman was out of 52 runs, which raises his average from 36 to 38. How many runs must he score in that innings to reduce his average by 1? So in this question they are telling that a batsman had scored 52 runs in the last innings. Okay. Because of which his average was increased from 36 to 38. Okay. So in the second last innings his average was 36. But since he scored 52 runs in the last innings, his average was increased by 2. Okay. So if he had scored 36 runs in the last innings, then his average would have been 36 itself. But he had scored 52 runs. He had scored some 16 runs extra, because of which his average was increased by 2. Okay. So we can write this 52 as 36 plus 16. Okay. So the increase in average by 2 means there is an increase in runs by 16. Okay. So we need to find out the runs which he should score in the last innings so as to reduce his average by 1. Okay. So in the second case they are telling that the average is reduced by 1. Then we need to find out the runs which he should score in the last innings. Okay. So if the average was 36, then he would have scored 36 runs in the last innings. But the average is 1 less than 36, which means he would have scored 36 minus some value. Okay. So let us take this value as x. Okay, so if this 2 can be written as 16, then what will be the value for this 1? This we can find out by cross multiplying. Okay, so this x value will be equal to 1 into 16 divided by this 2. So that will be equal to 8. Okay, so this x value is 8. Okay, so this will be equal to 36 minus 8. Then the batsman would have scored 36 minus 8 runs so as to reduce his average by 1. Okay, so this will be equal to 28 runs. Okay, so this is the answer. The next question is, a man covers a distance of 6 km at the rate of 4 km per hour and a distance of 4 km at the rate of 3 km per hour. What is the average speed? So in this question they have given two different distances and their respective speeds. So we need to find out the average speed. Okay, so the distance in the first case is given as 6 km and the speed is given as 4 km per hour. Okay, and the distance in the second case is given as 4 km and its respective speed is given as 3 km per hour. Okay, so we need to find out the average speed. We know that speed is equal to distance by time. Okay, so average speed will be equal to the total distance. Okay, that is d1 plus d2 divided by the total time, that is t1 plus t2. Okay, so first we need to find out the values of t1 and t2. Okay, so t1 will be equal to d1 by s1, that is equal to 6 by 4. Okay, and t2 will be equal to d2 by s2, that is equal to 4 by 3. Okay, now we can substitute in this formula. Okay, so average speed is equal to total distance, that is d1 plus d2, that is 6 plus 4, that is 10, divided by t1 is 6 by 4 plus t2 is 4 by 3. Okay, so on solving this you will get it as 60 divided by 17, or we can write it as 9 by 17 kilometer per hour. Okay, so this is the answer. The next question is, distance between station A and B is 778 km. A train covers a journey from A to B at 84 km per hour and returns back to A with a uniform speed of 56 km per hour. Find the average speed of the train. So in this question they have given the distance between two stations A and B as 778 km. Okay, then they are telling that a train travels from A to B at a speed of 84 km per hour and returns to A at a speed of 56 km per hour. So we need to find out the average speed of the train. Okay, so in this question two different speeds are given but the distance is same in both these cases. Okay, so let us see how to find out the average speed. Okay, so we know that average speed is equal to total distance, that is d1 plus d2. Here d1 and d2 are same, so let us take it as d itself. Okay, so that will become 2d divided by t1 plus t2. t1 will be equal to d by s1 and t2 will be equal to d by s2. Okay, so we can write this as 2d divided by d into 1 by s1 plus 1 by s2. Okay, now on solving this we will get the average speed as 2 into s1 s2 divided by s1 plus s2. Okay, so we can use this formula directly to find out the average speed when the distance is same in both the cases. Okay, now let us substitute the values in this formula. Okay, so average speed is equal to 2 into s1 is 84 and s2 is 56 divided by 84 plus 56. Okay, so on solving this you will get the answer as 67.2 kilometer per hour. Okay, so this is the answer. Now, if there are 3 situations and 3 different speeds and the distance is same in all the 3 cases, then we can use the formula average speed is equal to 3 into S1, S2, S3 divided by S1, S2 plus S2, S3 plus S3, S1. Okay. So whenever 3 speeds are given, we can find out the average speed by using this formula. Okay. The next question is, there were 35 students in a hostel. Due to the admission of 7 new students, the expenses of the hostel were increased by rupees 42 per day, while the average expenditure per head diminished by rupee 1. What was original expenditure of the hostel? So in this question they are telling that there were 35 students in a hostel. Okay, but due to the admission of 7 new students, the expenditure of the hostel has increased by rupees 42. Okay, and the average expenditure has diminished by rupee 1. So we need to find out the value of the original expenditure of the hostel. Okay, so initially the number of students were 35 and at that time let us take the expenditure as E. Okay, then they are telling that 7 new students were added, which means what will be the number of students? 35 plus 7, that is 42. Okay, so at that time they are telling that the expenditure has increased by rupees 42. Okay, so initially the expenditure was E, now the expenditure will be E plus 42. Okay, then they are telling that on addition of 7 new students, the average expenditure has diminished by rupee 1. Okay, so they have given the difference between the average expenditure in both these cases as rupee 1. Okay, so what will be the average expenditure here? Average is equal to sum of observations by number of observations. Okay, that will be E by 35. Okay, then what will be the average expenditure in the second situation? That will be E plus 42 divided by 42. Okay, so in the question they have given the difference between these averages as 1 rupee. Okay, that is E by 35 minus E plus 42 divided by 42 is given as 1. On solving this equation, we will get the value of E as rupees 420. Okay, so this is the original expenditure of the hostel. Okay. The next question is, average of 10 positive numbers is X. If each number is increased by 10%, then X will be. First option is remain same, second option is may decrease, third option is may increase, and the fourth option is increase by 10%. Okay, so this type of questions we have already explained in the previous episode. That is, if the average of some numbers is given and they are telling that if each number is increased by some value, then the average will be also increased by that value. Okay, if each number is decreased by some value, then the average will be also decreased by that value. Okay, if each number is multiplied by the value, then in order to get the new average, the old average must be multiplied by that value. Okay, so in this question they are telling that each number is increased by 10%, then the average will be also increased by 10%. Okay, so fourth option is the answer. The next question is, average of 2, 7, 6 and X is 5 and the average of 18, 1, 6, X and Y is 10. What is the value of Y? Okay, so in this question they have given the average of these 4 observations as 5. So if the average is 5, what will be the sum? Sum is equal to average into number of observations. Okay, so the sum will be equal to 5 into 4 observations are there. So 5 into 4. So what will be the sum of these numbers? That will be 2 plus 7 plus 6 plus X. That is 15 plus X. On solving this, we will get the X value as 5. Okay. So in the second case, they have given the average of 18, 1, 6, X and Y as 10. Okay, so if the average is 10, what will be the sum? Sum will be equal to 10 into number of observations. So here there are 5 observations. Okay, so the sum will be equal to 10 into 5. Okay, so what will be the sum of these numbers? That is 18 plus 1 plus 6 plus x value is 5 plus y. Okay, so that will be equal to 30 plus y. So on solving this, we will get the answer of y as 20. Okay. The next question is, if A, B, C, D and E are 5 consecutive odd numbers, then their average is. So in this question, we need to find out the average of 5 consecutive odd numbers A, B, C, D and E. Okay, consecutive numbers are the numbers that follow each other continuously in the order from smallest to largest. Okay, for example, 1, 3, 5, 7. These are consecutive odd numbers. Okay, these follow each other continuously in the order from smallest to largest. Okay, so in the 42nd episode, I have said that the average of consecutive numbers will be the middle number. Okay, so here the consecutive numbers are A, B, C, D and E. So the average of consecutive numbers will be the middle number. So here the middle number is C. Okay, so the average of these 5 consecutive numbers will be C. But C is not given in the option. Okay, see here this 3 can be written as 1 plus 2. Okay, and this 5 can be written as this 1 plus 4. Okay, similarly here this B can be written as this A plus 2 and this C can be written as this A plus 4. Okay, since these are consecutive odd numbers, we can write this B as A plus 2 and we can write this C as this A plus 4. Okay, so the average of these 5 consecutive numbers is C and we can write it as A plus 4. Okay, so the answer of this question is second option. So here finishes the topic average. I have covered almost all types of problems based on this topic. I'll be back with another topic in the next part. If you felt this video helpful, please like the video and subscribe the channel. Also press the bell button so that you get the notification when I'm uploading new videos. Thank you for watching the videos. Bye.